Okay. So now we'll go ahead further. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any question? Have you gone through your whatever the portion we have discussed until now? For all of you, have you gone through anything? Have you gone through anything? Saptagiri Vasan, what did you see? Saptagiri Vasan. Saptagiri Vasan.
Sir?
What did you see until now? Whatever the
Hello.
portion we have covered, what, sir? Have you gone through that?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Saptagiri Vasan, can you hear me? Unmute your call. Yeah. Anyway, we'll proceed further. So until now, I talked about the bit of basics about your incompressible flow. Okay. So you people are, it seems, not much interested to go ahead further, but you are going to pay means anyway in the exam model. I am going to put up a question on that. Then you see that okay, what is going to do. Okay. So you have, I think, close to 10th you have an exam. Okay. So this week I need to finish some more portion for completing your examination. Okay. Effectively. Let us see what is going to happen. Okay. So now, see, you might have studied a course on your mechanics of fluids until now. You might have studied a course on your mechanics of fluids, your thermodynamics, your aerodynamics. I think 1 and 2 you might have completed, and also your compressor flow. What are the non-dimensional number you have studied until now? Can you tell me?
Sir, Reynolds number, Mach number.
1 minute. Non-dimensional numbers. Okay, your Reynolds number. Okay, Mach number.
Froude's number.
Sorry, sir.
Froude number.
Froude number.
And,
Okay.
Weber number.
Weber number.
Grashoff's number.
Sorry, sir.
Sir, Grashoff number.
Grashoff number. Oh, Grashoff number also you have studied.
Heat transfer we studied.
Oh, okay. Heat transfer. Oh, yeah. Prandtl number. Have you studied Prandtl number?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Prandtl number.
Prandtl number.
Stanton number.
Sorry, sir.
Stanton number.
Stanton number. Good. Strouhal number. Strouhal number.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what are you going to do is, okay, so each and every Reynolds, I have, please scribble in your note, okay, you need to, you take a time before tomorrow's morning, 9 o'clock, I need to see it in Teams, okay, in your team, in our Teams, okay. I put a folder, assignment folder. I need to know what is the definition for example, Reynolds number. Please don't copy from others, okay? Just refer and write it, Reynolds number. What is the definition and physical significance. Okay. So, and where are we going to use? Okay. So these three things: definition, physical significance, and where are you going to use? So you do it for a Mach number, Froude number, Weber number, Grashof number, Prandtl number, Stanton number, Stogel numbers, these things. Because without knowing about the non-dimensional number, there is no point in going for the your experimental data, because we try to have your experimental data in a non-dimensional form. So we are going to generalize that. So in that case, we have to, if you want to generalize that, you need to have a non-dimensional form. Okay. So I think before morning, tomorrow morning 8 o'clock, okay, I need to see your assignment on non-dimensional numbers. What is the definition? Significant, physical significant, and where are going to use. Keep in mind that the class is having a strength less than 30. So I can easily find out who is copying from who. If you are going to copy from others, simply I'll put a 0. Keep in mind that. Okay. So already we have talked about that your governing equation. You know about your governing equations and all. Okay, your continuity, momentum, energy, okay, and the equation of state, and also entropy principle and perfect gas. So these are the things. And another thing is that you have to look at that, okay, from that, okay, in the potential flow also we talked about that a bit. Just I have given that, okay, potential flow. And main thing that you have to know is your streamline, streak line, path line, and timeline. Even if you refer fundamentals of aerodynamics by Anderson, okay, you are going to have a clear-cut picture on that, how fundamentals of aerodynamics. So 2 times in the gate examination, they had a flow situation. They asked whether it's a streamline or a streak line or a path line. Wherever you go, people are going to ask about that. Okay, they are going to explain a situation, and whatever the pattern you are going to get, whether it's a streamline or a streak line or not. Already you studied, so okay, I don't want to discuss more on that. And in the another thing is, you know what do you mean by boundary layer? Any idea?
So boundary layer is a thin layer formed adjacent to the solid surface, where velocity of the fluid is less than 99% of free stream velocity.
So, okay, a thin layer adjacent to the surface where your velocity is going to be lower than the free stream velocity. Your 0.99 times u infinity. That's what your velocity. Okay, that's what your boundary layer. Okay. So normally what we used to do, okay. So what are the parameters are going to govern the boundary layer thickness? Any idea?
Reynolds number.
Reynolds number, okay. Anything, sir? Reynolds number, anything? What do you mean by Reynolds number, sir? Your inertial force by?
Viscous force.
Force by your viscous force. Inertial force by your viscous force. Okay. So for a flat plate and all, we will be taking rho VL by V. Okay. So this is coefficient of viscosity. V is the velocity, L is the characteristic length, rho is the density. Okay. So other than Reynolds number, what are the other parameters that's going to control the physics in the boundary layer, within the boundary layer? Any idea?
Temperature.
Okay, temperature. Okay, then good, temperature. Then anything more? You people are missing important aspect. Others, please open your mouth. Please participate.
Sir, velocity.
Velocity. Okay, velocity. Okay. Okay.
Sir, flow
Next.
regime.
Sorry, sir.
Flow regime, sir, whether laminar or turbulent.
Okay, flow regime. Okay, that's going to be driven by your velocity. Okay, flow regime. Then your boundary layer, it's going to be driven by what? Two things, two important things. You people are missing it. Still, think.
The boundary layer thickness.
How the boundary layer thickness, sir? Because it's a derived phenomena of the boundary layer. I'll come back to that, your boundary layer thickness, little later. Boundary layer thickness. I'll come back to that separately. What are the other parameters that's going to be drive the flow physics within the boundary layer?
Sir, pressure gradient.
Pressure gradient. Okay, good. Okay, good. How the pressure gradients are going to be influenced, sir?
Sir, if there is an adverse pressure gradient, then boundary layer separation will
Okay,
take.
adverse pressure gradient, favorable pressure gradient. Okay, good. How your pressure gradients are influenced? Quick, sir, quick. Okay, other than pressure gradient, let us come to the other important thing. Quick, sir. What do you mean by slip and no slip?
Yes, sir. No slip condition.
No slip condition. Okay. Let us come to that little later.
Sir.
Okay, slip and no slip condition. But what is the other important? You people are missing a simple important one. Another important thing.
Density, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Density, sir.
Okay.
Viscosity.
If you are going to talk about that, your temperature, the pressure, okay, it's going to be related to that. Okay. Let us come to the density little later. But the density.
Viscosity.
Okay. Viscosity. Okay. Anything? What is this parameter, sir? What will happen? Your roughness. Why are you going for a
friction
in the
factor.
low regime and all low Reynolds number regime? Okay, if you look at that, what is going to happen? Low Reynolds number regime, we are going to have a creating a rough surface. Or you look at the bird feathers. Why they are going for a bird feathers? Bird feather like structures and all in the your wing side. Even we have done as one next month. Okay, one low Reynolds number study we did it. Okay, in the low Reynolds number studies, comparing to smooth surface. Okay, a flat plate with a bad feather like roughness has a lower drag than the smooth surface. That to orientation of the your the micro grooves, that's going to we done that, we did that. But we don't have a facility in Amrita for measuring the force and all, the lift drag and all. We did it in CMRI, Durgapur. So we have the result with us. If you want, I can show you next time. Your roughness. Okay. So if you look at that, okay, you mentioned about your pressure gradient. Okay, you mentioned about your pressure gradient here. Okay. So in the pressure gradient, how it is going to be your curvature of the surface? That's where we are going to talk about the adverse and favorable pressure gradient. For example, if you look at that, this region, okay, your velocity is going to decrease, but at the same time, your pressure is going to increase. So automatically your dP by dx is going to increase. So that's going to be adverse pressure gradient. So flow can't sustain your momentum. Okay, that is increase in pressure. So automatically flow is separating. So your pressure gradient drives your whether the flow is going to be separating or not. Same way your viscosity of the fluid. So main thing that you have to look at that, okay, your velocity is going to talk about that your flow region, whether your flow is going to be your laminar or turbulent or transition between laminar to turbulent. Transition to laminar to turbulent. So that's what the one is going to talk about, that your flow region in that one. So now, okay, what you can do is just you go and read about a small intro about boundary layer. Small intro about boundary layer. Intro about boundary layer. So for example, okay, you are going to move from a laminar to turbulent. Laminar, transition and turbulent. What you have to see is how the thickness of the boundary layer. How the thickness of your boundary layer. While moving from laminar to turbulent through transition. Okay. And another important thing is how the mixing is taking place between the how the mixing takes place between the near wall flow, that is within the boundary layer, near wall flow to undisturbed flow stream. Undisturbed flow. So these things are going to talk about that, okay, you are going to have a clear cut understanding about the boundary layer. So tomorrow you are going to see a certain phenomena, you are going to see that, okay, you need to have a laminar flow or a turbulent flow. What is the problem with the laminar? Whether you want to relaminarize the flow or you want to create a turbulent. Where are you going to relaminarize? Where are you going to create a turbulent flow? That and all you will be looking at that. And also you look at that, okay, your skin friction coefficient. What is the impact? Velocity of the flow, or how it is going to be laminar to, same way you are here, laminar to turbulent, how it is going to vary. Just to read it. If you couldn't understand, please come back to me, because these things you are going to talk about that in the case of your performance, aircraft performance. For looking at the, okay, even in the gate exam also they are going to ask, okay, earlier they asked, okay, in terms of your x, that is your flat plate boundary layer, okay, let us take it as x, okay, what is the x to the power n with respect to your Reynolds number? What is the value of the index for n for your laminar turbulent? Just to verify that, I think one case it's 1/3, another case it's 2/3. Just to verify that this number, maybe they may be asking in the gate examination, so you should not lose the mark. So better you go, okay, take a fluid mechanics. Right now I didn't remember the correct number. Okay, fluid mechanics by Kundu and Cohen, or any fluid mechanics book. Okay, so you can get the value of your n band. Okay, so you need to look at these phenomena. Okay, these are the things.
So
Any
it's
questions
1 by
are in
2
this?
for laminar.
1/2, 1/2 for laminar.
Laminar.
What about your
And
turbulent?
1/5.
Negative or positive, sir? X to the power minus n or x to the power n? Delta by x. I think it will be coming like that, okay, proportional to so, okay, your that is for your boundary layer thickness, how it is going to be related based on boundary layer thickness. Okay. So already I told about you, okay, you don't want to worry about your source, sink, and your uniform flow, a combination. You look at for developing your doublet flow over a half Rankine oval, flow over a circular cylinder, flow over a rotating cylinder. You learn that and try to have a, okay, for example, you want to have a flow over a rectangular domain. Can you do that? Using the same superposition principle, superpositions of basic flows. How are you going to, if you are going to place a source and sink, where are you going to place a source and sink, and how are you going to get the flow over a rectangular box? Already I told you, just it's all or depends on our hands. Okay, so okay, just look at that. Okay, we will go into that your boundary layer part. Boundary layer thickness. So in the boundary layer thickness, we are going to have your displacement thickness, momentum thickness, and energy thickness. Any idea what do you mean by the boundary layer? Any one of you can give me some inflow into that, some idea into that?
Sir, displacement thickness is related to mass flow rate of the, displaced fluid. Mass flow
Why?
deficit.
How that's taking place? How that's taking place?
Because, sir, in the boundary layer, the velocity of the free stream is reduced. So whatever that is the deficiency in mass flow, how much fluid is
Why
displaced
there is a
about.
deficiency? How they are saying that there is a deficiency in mass flow? How you are relating it?
Because, sir, u is less than v infinity. So
Is it because of that?
no, sir, because it's you have a parabolic velocity profile.
Because of that? Any one of you?
Due to viscosity, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Due to viscous effects.
Boundary layer, the moment if you think about your boundary layer thickness, it's going to be because of viscous effect. It's a generalized principle. But my question is, what do you mean by displacement thickness? What do you mean by momentum thickness, energy thickness? Your whatever the point mentioned by Sanjay, okay, something is going, but you are confusing. That's what I can say.
Sir, in displacement thickness, there will be, as Sanjay told, there will be some defect in mass flow rate, sir, due to because of
why there is
the
a
velocity
defect in mass
inside
flow,
the boundary.
Why there is a display? Why, okay, your
because
deficiency in mass flow?
Yes, sir. Because
how
of
that point is coming here?
Yes, sir. Because of the viscous effects, because of the plate which is present under, sir. So since we consider no slip condition, because of the no slip condition, like as a fluid gets like it gets stops on like at the plate, the velocity will be 0. So after above it, like it will be a little larger. Then going on, then it will keeps on increasing, and at a final, and at a particular case where the velocity will be like equal to the free stream velocity.
Some more, Samivasan, okay, your answer is okay. You're trying to say, but some more clarity I need. Any one of you? No problem, Samivasan. You are coming into the point, okay? You are adding more to Sanjay's case, okay? Some more clarity.
Sir, but finally, to satisfy that missed mass flow rate, how much the plate should be lifted, sir, in order to satisfy the missed mass flow rate? That is what.
Which is going to lift this, sir? Any idea?
I mean, the plate which is already in the surface now, sir. That plate
Whether
has to
the plate is going to be moved up?
No, sir.
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Because of that?
Yes, sir.
Displacement of the fluid, sir.
Okay. let me come to that. Okay, this is the way I used to see that. Okay, for example, if you look at that, okay, yeah, okay, I'm going to have a boundary layer. One minute, sir. My system is. Let us look at that. Okay, yeah, the boundary layer is growing on the surface. So now, okay, we are going to represent the flow as a hypothetical condition of, okay, a streamline, okay, set of streamlines. They are going to be enclosed. They are going to form your steam tube. Is it right? Okay, we are going to have a set of streamlines. Okay, set of streamlines, and the streamlines, if they are going to be closed by a curve, closed by a curve, what will happen? What we call it as a steam tube. So that's going to satisfy your continuity equation. That's going to satisfy your continuity equation now. So I have a steam tube. Okay, what is that meaning of that? Your rho V is equal to constant. So now the area is going to be constant in the undisturbed steam. The moment they are going to enter into your boundary layer. So if you look at that, okay, here, okay, whatever the point mentioned by you, at the surface velocity is going to be 0, and while going towards the edge of the boundary layer, it's going to have your velocity is going to be 0.99 times u infinity. So now if you look at that, the velocity is going to be increasing from 0 to close to your free stream velocity. Now what will happen? It has to, your flow is going to be possible. It has to satisfy a condition of flow continuity equation. So automatically what will happen? Your velocity is lower here, okay, comparing to this, okay, your velocity is lower. For satisfying the continuity, okay, your area is going to increase. So if the area is increasing means what will happen? Your steam tube is going to diverge. So, and also we know that streamline, they are not going to interact with each other. They are going to be parallel to each other. So automatically what will happen here? Okay, your streamline, that's going to, they are going to shift upwards. Okay, they are going to shift upwards because of that, for maintaining the continuity. Now you look at the same case. Okay, here we assume the case of a viscous, and we assume a case of a inviscous case, inviscid case. So what will happen? Yes, streamlines are going to be constant. There is no boundary layer formation because in the inviscid fluid, no. So if you compare your that is the shift in streamline here and a shift in streamline with the boundary layer case, there will be a shift in mass flux. Because of the shift in boundary layer, there will be a shift in mass flux. So that mass flux, what we call it as, whatever the point mentioned by you, it's a deficiency in the mass flux. That's going to be measured with the help of your displacement thickness. So that is going to be, what is that? Your displacement thickness, what we call it as a del star. It's going to be 0 to your infinity, your 1 minus u by u infinity into your dy. Same way, we are going to call it as your momentum thickness. Your momentum thickness, same way it's going to be whatever the deficiency in the momentum, the loss in momentum. So what we used to define that, it's in terms of theta, 0 to infinity, okay, u by u infinity into 1 minus u by u infinity into your dy. And another one more is, okay, your energy thickness, what we call it as del double star, okay, or sometimes we used to say that del E, okay, that's going to be something different, u by u infinity into 1 minus u square by u infinity square into dy. So displacement, momentum, and your energy thickness. Okay, so it's going to talk about that. Okay, because of the presence of the boundary layer, how much amount of loss in the mass flux, the deficiency in the mass flux, or how much shift in the your flow upward. That's going to talk about that. Okay, your momentum your displacement thickness, momentum thickness, and energy thickness. There is no chance of shifting the plate, shifting the your flow. How much amount of shifting the flow. Okay, so these are the basics you need to remember that. Okay, let us go into the your wind tunnel. Okay, I'll come back to that your resolution of data, uncertainty, and a little later. Okay, in today's class or today in the week. Okay, right now we'll go into the your open circuit wind tunnel. Let us take an example of our whatever the one is available in our lab. Okay. Okay. This is your test answer. So now we have discussed already what is the necessity of wind tunnel. We are going to simulate a real-time flow situation. We are going to simulate a real-time flow over the model or region of interest. That's what the requirement of your wind tunnel. Okay. Now, okay, these are tunnel available in our lab. Can you tell me what are the parts of that? What are the parts are there? Any idea?
Test section.
This is your test section. Okay. Test section. Anything else? Just no problem. If your answer is wrong, it's no issue. Please tell me what are the parts are there.
Sir,
Any of you?
diffuser.
An area.
Sorry, sir.
Diffuser.
An area and diffuser.
Diffuser. Okay. Okay.
An area, sir.
Diffuser. Quick, sir. Quick. It's a little fast, please. Okay. So what we call, okay, first section is your honeycomb section. And second one is your settling chamber. And third one is, okay, your contraction zone. Contraction zone or a contraction cone. Okay. And here your test section. And this is your diffuser or diverging passage. And this is your flow driver or okay, driving zone, flow driving zone. honeycombs. Okay. If you look at that, your honeycomb section. Honeycomb. Have you looked at that? Anything on that, sir? For example, if I draw a front view, what did you see there? So normally, if you look at the front view, okay, a cross section, small cross section of a square, circle. People used to prefer, okay, circle, or otherwise, okay, a rectangle, or okay, they go for a honeycomb like sections kind of thing, honeycomb nest, 2, 4, 6 hexagon cross sections, okay, hexagon cross section. Like that, sections are going to be there. So the purpose of the honeycomb, okay, if you look at the cross section is going to be circular cross section, circular, square, and hexagon. Okay, so now the purpose of the honeycomb section, for example, if you look at that, whatever the incoming flows are having a eddies, incoming flows are having a with the eddies. So first thing is we need to cut down these eddies. Means whatever the eddies present in the flow, that has to be removed. So while flowing through your honeycomb section, mainly while flowing through the corners, okay, so the eddies are going to be removed. Means eddies through the flow is going to be reduced. So there is a ratios are there. Okay, we will going into the details of that. Okay, construction of your subsonic tunnel. We'll look at that how the ratio of that your size and all we are going to be. Because even if you are going to have a very tiny cross section, what will it be? Even we can go for a very small cross sections. That also even it's going to be more effective in cutting eddies. But while flowing through that, how much amount of pressure loss it's going to be if you have a very tiny edges. So the purpose of that, okay, depending on the number of in the cutting of your edges. First thing, okay, and next is okay. First is your hexagon, second is square, and third is the cross section they used to as a honeycomb section. After the honeycomb section, okay, we are going to have a settling chamber, a constant area passage, a small passage. So where okay your flow is going to be stabilized further, like a uniform flow you are going to get over there. And then afterwards we'll be having a contraction cone where your flow is going to be, okay, flow velocity is going to be accelerated, okay, in this section. So whatever the possible Mach number, possible velocity, you are going to accelerate the flow. So that's going to be here. Let us take a area A1, here A2. Based on the A1 to A2 ratio between A1 and A2, your velocity is going to be dictated here in the test section. So another one more thing, okay, we have removed the eddies with the help of your honeycomb section. So now, okay, if you look at that, we need to, for example, okay, depending on the operating altitude, we have a difference in turbulence. Okay, difference in turbulence. For creating the turbulence, what we used to do is we used to introduce in this region. Okay, so here, okay, in this zone, we introduce a fire mesh. So these fire meshes, okay, they are effective in creating your turbulence. Okay, depending on the percentage of the turbulence, we will be having a spacing between the wire and diameter of the wires. accordingly, okay, we used to calculate, we used to fix it on the before entry into the test section we will fix. Sometimes, okay, we are going to have a bound layer like effect, okay, building aerodynamics and all if you want to study. So normally we used to create a, okay, ground level turbulence will be more when compared to the top, okay. Before mounting the model, if you look at that, some of the tunnels and all, they used to have a put small corks and all in the nearer to the your test section. So that's going to simulate a near wall turbulence and all, more amount of near wall turbulence. So that's going to be there. And another thing is, okay, the diffuser. So whatever that's going to be diffused further before moving into the fan, okay. Even you can run your wind tunnel without your diffuser also. But if you don't have a diffuser, if you are going to converting your kinetic energy to a present energy here, you need to provide more amount of power to the fan to drive the unit. So that's why they used to have a diverging section. Now there will be a diverging section passage and the alpha. Accordingly, if it is goes beyond, separate from surface, it's not going to act as a diffuser. It's going to act as a simple jet-like flow kind of. Okay. So in the coming classes, we will discuss in detail about that. Okay. We will see that. Okay. Any question on that, sir? Any question? Excuse me, please. Any question?
Yeah. The flow which we are checking in, is it turbulent or laminar?
Sorry, sir.
The flow which we are checking in, turbulent or
Little
laminar?
louder.
I'm asking, sir, the flow which we are checking in to the honeycomb structure, but after reducing the eddies, will it be laminar or will it be turbulent, sir?
Sir, it depends on the your Reynolds number only. We are going to talk about that. Your flow is going to be laminar or turbulent. So mainly the removing the eddies means it's going to be for a purpose of, okay, your